We've got breaking news from New York. A lawsuit has accused rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl.
Let's just say it's true, okay? This 13-year-old girl is actually telling the truth. Okay?
You won't believe the explosive accusations lighting up the music world this week. Outrage is skyrocketing as fresh claims point to Jay-Z and Diddy allegedly crossing a terrifying line at a star-studded VMA after-party 2 decades ago. Even more shocking, reports say the FBI just got their hands on damning footage that could shake hip-hop's biggest icons to their core. Could this be the end of their untouchable legacies? Or just the beginning of a scandal that reveals the industry's darkest secrets? Stick around, because what you're about to hear might change everything you thought you knew. Everything kicked off when attorney Tony Busby filed a jaw-dropping complaint that sparked instant media frenzy. The allegations revolve around a VMA after-party from the year 2000, a glittering event where some of hip-hop's heaviest hitters rubbed shoulders behind the velvet ropes. According to the legal documents, a 13-year-old girl found herself at this exclusive gathering, surrounded by powerful figures who should have had no business being anywhere near a minor. The lawsuit states that both Jay-Z and Diddy played pivotal roles in what allegedly happened next, turning a glamorous night into something much darker. Word of this lawsuit spread like wildfire. Almost immediately, music fans and legal analysts began scrutinizing every detail Tony Busby revealed. According to Busby, the lawsuit wasn't born out of thin air. The accuser could supposedly describe highly specific details only someone with direct access to Jay-Z's inner world would know. This part alone set off countless discussions online. Could there really be private knowledge that proves foul play? Or was it just a clever legal tactic to demand attention? Meanwhile, observers started to ask the tough questions. If these claims are true, why did they stay hidden for so long? Skeptics suggest it might be a money grab, an attempt to leverage the famous names of Jay-Z and Diddy for a big payout. But Busby dismissed that idea, saying his client had waited years to speak up, consumed by fear and anxiety. For him, this lawsuit represents a chance at long overdue justice, no matter how powerful the defendants might be. Publicly, Jay-Z has crafted a reputation that goes well beyond music. He's a billionaire entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and a cultural icon. Diddy is equally influential, known for his business ventures, TV stints, and knack for staying relevant in an industry that's always hungry for the next big thing. So when people heard these two titans were named in a civil case involving an underage individual, it shook the trust many had in their carefully curated images. But trust is only one piece of this puzzle. Legally, what really matters is how strong the accusations are, and whether the evidence holds up in court. The narrative swirling around the alleged 2000 incident is full of rumor and speculation, but the mere suggestion that a powerful clique might have been complicit in something so serious has turned into a massive scandal, with fans and insiders alike demanding answers. The only thing that seems certain is that this isn't going to vanish quietly. Tony Busby is well known in legal circles for taking on major figures and refusing to back down, so both Jay-Z and Diddy have a formidable challenger on their hands. If the allegations ring true in the eyes of the law, it could spell disaster for their reputations. If they're unfounded, the entire lawsuit might collapse under scrutiny. Either way, the stakes are sky high for everyone involved. The rumor mill jumped into overdrive when word got out that the FBI might have acquired potentially incriminating footage. Some say it's a series of tapes handed over by individuals who once circled Diddy's notorious after-parties, gatherings rumored to be secretive, lavish, and at times disturbing. While it's important to remember that these are all allegations until proven, the very idea that federal agents are reviewing any kind of footage from that night electrified the media. The big question on everyone's mind is, what exactly could be on these supposed tapes? One theory is that they show underage guests being ushered into off-limits areas of the party, possibly with big-name celebrities present. Another rumor suggests there might be explicit scenes that place Jay-Z or Diddy at the center of wrongdoing. Both men, of course, have categorically denied any involvement in anything criminal. But if there's solid audio-visual evidence tying them to questionable behavior, it changes the game entirely. Then there's the possibility that no such footage exists, or that it's heavily edited, or otherwise unreliable. Some close to the investigation suspect this could be a bluff from Busby's camp, a strategic maneuver to rattle the defense. Yet whispers persist that actual recordings have been submitted to a grand jury, and that at least a handful of people have confirmed their authenticity. If that's true, it could lead to a sprawling investigation beyond just Jay-Z and Diddy, ensnaring anyone else caught on camera. Either way, the very mention of federal involvement often signals that this isn't just a case of he said, she said. The government typically steps in when it believes there's a chance of serious misconduct crossing state lines or involving multiple jurisdictions. It also means investigators may be digging into whether others helped cover up suspicious activities that night. Even if the tapes are inconclusive, the fact that authorities are looking at them suggests a level of concern going far beyond idle gossip. At the core of this drama sits the idea that someone with enough power and influence was able to keep scandalous secrets buried for years. Now that everything is surfacing, fans are left wondering, will this be another instance where a star's fame buys their silence? Or will the tapes, if they exist, be the smoking gun that breaks the entire story wide open?
He used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Asner, Kushner, Diddy, and myself went to a Nets game, and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, like some of his music, the whole 9 yards. And him and Puff met up. It was strange to me, because I remember what Puff was trying to do. And then both of them, they was talking about something amongst each other, amongst all of us, and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line.
You say, in your opinion, Jay-Z is a bad guy. Like,
well, I know
you're
he's a bad guy.
You're alluding, though, to the level of, like, Diddy, or just complicit in letting Jay-Z? Can you sort of elaborate on what your accusation even is?
Kiss the Girls is the best example that I had to describe the relationship and the camaraderie between the Jigga Man and the Dips. These are two people that have been working in concert, collaborating and competing. These are people that have been covering each other's secrets for decades.
I guess, but again, maybe you're not at liberty to say it yet. I guess that's the comment is going to be, Jaguar. Well, what is it though? What is it? Like, is that coming? Is there something you can sort of allude to?
You got to ask yourself how a young man who pow-powed his brother, and allegedly, as the story goes, on his mother's request to hide her sexuality because it was about to hit the streets. This is a man who pow-powed his own brother and somehow walked away from that instance, got involved in the street drug trade, and somehow everyone else went to jail except for him. He's been making deals with the government and with the feds for quite some time.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, I mean, allegedly, but the thing is, if none of this is real, how does the CEO of his record conglomerate Rock Nation, how is she a known federal informant whose background is transferring?
You got song credits for writing for Al Green.
Take me through them not wanting to let her in the club.
She showed up to a place. Some of the people in there was loyal to some of the people she was speaking out about. They wouldn't let her in, and she wasn't going for that. She started setting it up. She started bugging up on the guys. They had to call the police on old girl. I just want to tell Jaguar, right, be careful.
Made a lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or?
Well, that's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we got another hearing to go.
Are you nervous, or do you feel cool?
God, I ain't never nervous. The only thing that's fair to me is God.
But I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to discuss that now, what we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh, so it is her official book.
Yes. Nobody.
And no one touched it.
Nobody altered it. Nothing.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
No.
It's two different copies. That one was edited, and we have the original copy.
When allegations this big hit the public, it's never long before fellow stars start weighing in. 50 Cent didn't hesitate to stir the pot. He posted on social media, insinuating that Jay-Z could be dangerous and highlighting the disturbing nature of the accusations, especially given that Jay-Z himself has a daughter. Whether he did this out of genuine concern or to throw shade at a rival, his words quickly made headlines. Fans rushed to debate whether 50 Cent was genuinely shocked or simply capitalizing on the moment to earn a few viral clicks. Then there's Jaguar Wright, who has been vocal for years about alleged misdeeds in the industry. She's argued that Jay-Z is far from the impeccable businessman some believe him to be, suggesting he's capable of coldly retaliating against anyone who crosses him. According to her, he's a figure whose influence stretches beyond music and into areas people might never suspect. Her claims aren't new, but in light of the lawsuit, some are revisiting her interviews, wondering if there's more truth to her words than many initially acknowledged. Another name that keeps popping up is Gene Deal, known for previously working with Diddy. He's also pointed fingers, claiming there were times Diddy openly expressed distaste for Jay-Z, only to pivot later and form a close professional and and personal bond. The public, now more suspicious than ever, is taking a second look at these alliances. Were they purely business moves, or was there a shared interest in keeping certain matters hidden? Celebrity reactions extend beyond just beefs and back-and-forth banter, though. Industry insiders say that a hush has fallen over many circles, with managers and publicists warning their clients not to weigh in publicly. Some fear that if one huge name topples, a chain reaction might follow, pulling in other prominent figures who attended those infamous after-parties. Music moguls, fashion icons, Hollywood actors. The swirl of speculation suggests this could reach places no one ever expected. Still, not everyone is speaking out. Jay-Z's allies, including some big names in entertainment and sports, have remained largely silent or have offered only lukewarm support. The same goes for Diddy's close-knit entourage. Whether it's because they fear legal repercussions or they simply don't know the full story, the lack of public statements from those once seen partying alongside these two powerhouses is notable and a little eerie. For a moment, it seemed Jay-Z might simply issue a blanket denial and let his legal team handle the rest. But if there's one thing fans have learned, it's that he doesn't do anything halfway. Instead, he launched a fierce counteroffensive, labeling the entire lawsuit a baseless fabrication designed to tarnish his reputation. His strategy has been to frame Tony Busby's approach as nothing more than a publicity stunt, aimed at milking money and headlines from a famous target. Beyond the rhetorical jabs, there have been legal maneuvers that hint Jay-Z isn't taking these allegations lightly. Reports suggest he's filed motions, possibly under seal, accusing Busby and the accuser of extortion. The idea is that Busby sent a demand letter seeking mediation, a standard move in many civil disputes. Yet Jay-Z calls it a blackmail attempt. He's demanded that anyone who perpetuates what he calls false narratives be prepared to face defamation claims. All of this has created a combative atmosphere, with both sides painting the other as manipulative and unethical. Busby, for his part, fired back on social media, denying any form of blackmail and insisting that his client has every right to seek justice, mediation request or not. He even accused Jay-Z of orchestrating a campaign of harassment aimed at the legal team's families, employees, and former associates to scare them into silence. This tug-of-war has escalated to the point where many are saying it's no longer just about the original claims. It has evolved into a showdown of pride, power, and who can spin the story in their favor. Jay-Z's fans point out that he has no documented history of such accusations, urging people to consider his philanthropic contributions and lifelong work ethic. Critics, however, argue that if he really had nothing to hide, he wouldn't resort to what they see as strong-arm tactics to shut down a lawsuit before it gains traction. As the legal battle intensifies, the question becomes, will one side produce a smoking gun? If there truly is footage or testimony verifying the timeline Busby's client puts forward, Jay-Z's counterattack might backfire spectacularly. Conversely, if the accusations don't stand up under the scrutiny of depositions and evidence, Jay-Z could emerge with his reputation battered, but ultimately intact. Either way, the case has become as much about personal vindication as it is about the alleged incident at that long-ago party. While Jay-Z wages his own war, Diddy finds himself under a renewed spotlight. Over the years, he's been linked to numerous rumors and controversies, some fleeting, others much more serious. Now those older suspicions are resurfacing with a vengeance. The central theme? His extravagant parties, often dubbed freak-offs by insiders, where the rules seem to vanish behind closed doors. Critics say these gatherings nurtured an environment where boundaries became blurred and dangerous behavior could thrive. Some claim underage individuals were ushered in with promises of fame, only to face experiences they never wanted. For Diddy's part, he has publicly denied any knowledge of wrongdoing at these parties, insisting he's a frequent victim of sensationalized gossip. Still, with multiple accusers stepping forward in recent months, both anonymously and openly, his denials ring hollow for those who see a pattern. Another troubling angle is the hint that certain parents or guardians might have knowingly allowed their underage children to attend these gatherings in exchange for financial perks or career boosts. That possibility raises its own set of disturbing questions about how far some will go for a shot at success. If there's any truth to these claims, it suggests a deeper, more systemic issue than any single lawsuit can address. Commentators point to an industry culture that, for years, swept rumors under the rug. Many found it easier to dismiss whispers about inappropriate behavior rather than risk going head-to-head with a powerful mogul like Diddy. But times have changed. Social media gives alleged victims an unprecedented platform to speak out, and attorneys like Tony Busby appear more than willing to shine a light on what used to remain backstage. Diddy's name has also been entangled in hush money allegations, with rumors circulating about hefty settlements paid to keep potentially damaging stories out of the news. None of these claims have ever been proven in court, but the internet rarely forgets. Now, every unverified claim is getting re-examined in the harsh light of the new accusations involving a minor at the VMA afterparty. For some, this is a long overdue reckoning. For others, it's a targeted smear campaign against a successful entrepreneur who's ventured into everything from music production to fashion to vodka branding. No matter which view you hold, one thing is crystal clear. Diddy's name is now inseparable from the scandal swirling around Jay-Z. Their long-standing friendship, collaborations, and shared history bind them together in the public eye. If either one of them ends up facing formal criminal charges, or even loses a high-profile civil suit, it could cast a long shadow over both their legacies, possibly closing the chapter on one of hip-hop's most enduring alliances. When superstars collide with serious accusations, the fallout can be massive. The situation involving Jay-Z and Diddy has already rattled fans who grew up idolizing them for their music, style, and business acumen. The potential repercussions go beyond tarnished personal brands. There's a sense that a whole era in hip-hop might be re-examined if more disturbing details emerge. Historically, the music industry has been criticized for fostering a boys' club atmosphere where powerful individuals operate with near impunity. Whispers of exploitation, misconduct, and cover-ups have long circulated, but until recently, few people dared to confront that culture in court. The magnitude of these accusations, and the big names involved, could finally crack the code of silence that once protected influential figures. Tony, for one, claims he has a lengthy list of people ready to speak up. If even half of that turns out to be true, the entertainment world could be in for a string of lawsuits that put the spotlight not just on alleged culprits, but also on the enablers who looked the other way. Producers, talent managers, venue owners, anyone who profited while ignoring warning signs might find themselves pulled into the crossfire. Record labels, too, might face tough questions about their role in cultivating images that emphasized extreme lifestyles without proper oversight. The possibility that minors were ever involved in these high-profile events is particularly troubling. If the culture of acceptance around questionable behavior is exposed, we could see a wave of reforms, from stricter rules on party access to more robust internal investigations whenever rumors arise. All this hinges on whether concrete evidence appears to support the claims. For many observers, the real test will come if and when these allegations go before a judge or a jury. Emotional testimony and corroborating witnesses could tip the scales. Even the mere presence of credible accusations can do lasting harm to a career. Whether Jay-Z or Diddy can rebound from these headlines might depend as much on legal outcomes as on public relations strategies. Meanwhile, fans face a difficult choice: continue celebrating music that defined a generation, or reckon with the possibility that the icons behind those beats might have harbored dark secrets. It's a tension that remains unresolved, as new developments seem to break every week. Each twist in the saga fuels more speculation, more outrage, and more uncertainty about what the future holds for everyone involved. As the legal gears keep turning, the spotlight shows no sign of dimming. With every new filing, each rumor of additional footage, or fresh accusers stepping forward, people across the globe are glued to updates, wondering if this might be the scandal that changes everything. Could these allegations, if proven, topple some of the highest seats in modern music? Or will the mountain of claims and counterclaims collapse under its own weight? Right now, it's an open question. Jay-Z and Diddy have built legacies that seemed unshakable. They've transcended hip-hop to become business moguls, philanthropists, and cultural ambassadors. Yet one lawsuit, backed by multiple voices, can swiftly tear down what took decades to build. Whether they're innocent or culpable is for the courts to decide. But no matter the outcome, the repercussions of this legal battle are already rippling through the music world, challenging fans, insiders, and aspiring artists to confront what really happens behind the stage lights. One thing is certain: the truth, whatever it may be, rarely stays buried forever. And in an age where every secret seems destined to surface, the real question is just how deep these revelations will go, and who else might get pulled into the undertow before it's all over.